Okay, good evening, everyone. I trust you had a good day. So let's kick off. Welcome back to our crypto masterclass. I know it has been a very long break, uh, 1 week. So let's continue. On our list here, we know for this month we're going to be covering the following topics. We're going to be covering the following topics, and the first one is the use of various blockchain. That's topic one we'll be treating today. Second one is NFTs and Web3. We'll look at the relationship between NFT and also Web3 and how each of them stand alone and how we can benefit from them. And the third one is talking about trading of coins and trading NFT. So here we'll go deeply into trading cryptocurrencies, how you can buy and you can sell. And also the same thing with NFTs, how you can buy NFTs, how you can sell them, how you can mint them, that is create your own NFT on the blockchain, and also how you can benefit from having or selling an NFT. So all these things we will discuss fully in the trading and trading of coins and trading NFT. So that'll be more of practical. So we'll be doing live demonstrations. So you already know about the speaker. So let's keep that part and move forward. So our topic for today is the use of various blockchain. Right. So now what is blockchain? So we already know the definition of blockchain because we treated this when we discussed the introduction, when we introduced the class. What is blockchain? A blockchain is simply a ledger that is a distributed ledger that keeps accurate record of all transactions. So your blockchain, just like we know, keeps helps you keep track of your transactions. Each transactions you make are kept or stored on a blockchain so that you can make reference to that transaction. And we know the blockchain has a feature of transparency. So both parties performing this transaction can actually view what is happening. So nobody cheats the other. And we said so not just transactions, and transactions can be in different form, ranging from physical to virtual objects. So blockchain allows you to store not just cryptocurrency, any form of transaction whatsoever. So you can construct or design a blockchain in such a way that your physical assets like your land, your car, your properties and all and likes are recorded on the blockchain. So blockchain is not just used for only storing of cryptocurrencies records. So you can design your blockchain in different forms. So when we talk of blockchain, it's not only pertaining to cryptocurrency. Fine, cryptocurrency actually brought the use case of blockchain out there for people to know about, right? But blockchain is larger than just having cryptocurrency on it. Just like the example I gave earlier in our first class, where I said you should take blockchain to be your land, why the house you build are the cryptocurrency. So blockchain is just like a foundation for other technologies to be built upon. So we should take note of that. So it's simply a ledger that a bank used to record all transactions of their customers. So we are linking or liking the blockchain to be um, the the banking system. Now it's a ledger that a bank used to keep record all transactions of their customers, and it's key to prevent double spending. Now what double spending means is that one person, when you perform a particular transaction, and let's say between A and B, now A transfers a certain amount of money to B. Now A cannot repeat that same transaction to C. So you can't perform a transaction, let's say worth 1 Bitcoin, and still sending that same 1 Bitcoin to another participant. That same 1 Bitcoin, not another amount this time around. That same Bitcoin sent to B, you want to send to C. That's what we call double spending. So when the transaction has been recorded already, there's no way you can revert the transaction. There's no way you can cancel it. So double spending is prevented. So let's continue. So please, if you have questions as teaching, you can actually ask on the chat box. So when I read it, I will answer it immediately so that we don't so keep the class interactive. So if you have any question, you can just type it in the chat box and we'll continue. Now with the blockchain, there is no central authority actually in charge of the blockchain. because it's a decentralized ledger. Though we have various types of blockchain, we are still getting to that. But the blockchain comes with this sense of decentralization. So instead of a central authority like the bank maintaining the ledger, with the blockchain, a copy of the ledger file is shared between thousands of participants globally who choose to become involved as miners or validators. So these are the technology that actually ensure that the blockchain is secure because this information is shared among thousands of participants globally. So if at all you want to hack into the blockchain, you want to change any record, that means each of those participants that own or have access to that record or share that record, you have to change everybody's information. I know that is practically impossible. How many people do you want to go and meet? How many computers do you want to start hacking into and start changing record? So once the information is stored on the blockchain, it distributes that information to every participant of that blockchain. That's why we call it a distributed ledger. It's called a distributed ledger. And these are one of the reasons why the blockchain is unhackable. You can't penetrate it. You can only penetrate those products launched on the blockchain, but the blockchain itself is impenetrable. So let's continue. So we also talked about some people who call miners and who call validators. So we'll continue as we proceed further. We'll know who miners are and who validators are. So next on our slide, we have okay. So we have three things that makes up the blockchain. We have three things that makes up the blockchain. Now the first one consists of blocks. We have block, we have nodes, and we have miners. So these are the three major ingredients or three major factors, or how would I say it? Three major constituents that makes up the blockchain. Without these three, the blockchain not a blockchain. So this is like a picture demonstration of the block. So we have the Genesis block, and from Genesis block, when the transaction is performed in block two, it records in the Genesis block and it links back to each other. So that's how the blockchain keep connecting from one block to the other. So now for the block, it is a permanent store of record which once written cannot be altered or removed. A block can be thought of like a link in a chain. Now it processes part of all these records of the transaction that precede it. Now a blockchain network comprised of millions of blocks that are in constant state of flux. So now take block to be set of records on a blockchain. Now with this block, they are permanently stored. So when you perform a particular transaction, you've created one block. Either you mine or you validate a transaction on the blockchain, you actually create a block. And once that block is created, it cannot be altered, it cannot be changed. If you send the coin to the wrong address, that's it. If you send it to the right address, that's it. So that block has been created. And once it has been created, it cannot be removed, it cannot be altered. Once it's written permanently. So that's the block. So and once one block you perform a particular transaction, when the other one is coming, it links to the previous one and they keep linking to themselves. So if I want to change, let's say you want to change transaction number one and you have about 100 transactions, or let's say you want to change transaction number 50 and you have about 100 transactions, that means you have to change from 100 to 99 to 98 to 97 to 90 till you get to 50. So you can see that process is highly tedious and you just forget about it. You don't need to bother yourself because once the block has been created, you can't do anything about it. If you want to alter any block, you have to start from the back and start changing till you get to that particular block you want to change. So we continue in our next one, which is nodes. Now we said it is any active physical electronic device attached to a network. Now these devices are capable of either sending, receiving or forwarding information, sometimes a combination of the three. So that's a node. Now, node are the actual participants of the blockchain. Now what do I mean by actual participants? They are devices that are attached to the network. Just like we have the internet now, each users, like you and I, we are connected to the internet, right? With our smartphone, our laptop, our tablets, whatever device. As we are connected to the internet, we are actually nodes on the internet because each device is interconnected to each other. So when one person leaves, another person joins. When another person joins, we have more people joining. So as we have more people joining, then the internet gets growing bigger. So the same thing with the blockchain. Blockchain also uses this technology or this same analogy to actually prevent itself from those illegal activities like the 51 attack and the likes. So it is any activity, any active physical electronic device attached to the network. So once it's attached to the network, so such device can either perform sending and perform receiving, forwarding information, or sometimes it perform the combination of those three activities. So it can be that node can send, receive, forward, and do whatever on the blockchain. So these are the components of the blockchain. And finally, we have miners. We have miners say they are seen as accountants who record every transaction on the blockchain. You know, when you have record taking, you need someone to be in charge of this record. That's why you see the bank till tomorrow we always have cashiers at the bank, right? Because when you pay in the money, they will need someone to actually verify those information and the like. So the miners take miners to be cashiers in the bank. They are the ones who help record this transaction and ensure that these transactions are legitimate transactions. Because we have some kind of transaction that can be performed on the blockchain that are not legitimate. We call it flash. We have some coins we call flash coin. Someone will send it to your wallet thinking you'll be thinking it's an original coin, or before you know it, it disappears from your wallet. Then be wondering, but I just saw this thing, I just received this coin now. That's why whenever you're performing a transaction on the blockchain, you ensure that it gets to some certain amount of confirmation. If you send some coin, your coin to some exchanges, even when the coin is delivered, it will still be pending because the confirmation is not complete. So call that confirmation. So some exchange has some amount of confirmation they allow to be sure that truly this transaction has been completed. Because once it gets to that amount of confirmation, then it cannot be reversed. It cannot be reversed. So call that so those are the work of the miners. They help ensure that these transactions are recorded on the blockchain so that they take away there's this thing we call them false party. Yeah. So they take away false party. And the process they use in recording this transaction is called mining. And mining is done through the use of a special software that solves incredibly complex mathematical problems. And finding this problem, the finding in owns that generate an accepted hash. Now they solve this problem by using software. They don't use their physical hands or their brain to solve this problem. No, we have computer softwares for that to solve the problem. And when they solve this problem, they generate an hash. What is an hash? An hash is sorry for that. An hash is like a unique ID for each transaction. Just like your bank now, when you make a transaction, you transfer a money from one person to the other. You always have a reference number. So in case you're having issue with that transaction, you just provide that reference number to your bank, and what they do, they'll be able to trace the transaction and know what issue you are facing with that transaction. So also for the hash. So the hash is like a unique key or a unique ID. It's actually alphanumeric. So we have both numbers and alphabets combined together. It's about 32 to 64 words long. So each transaction on the blockchain must have an hash. So to verify that information, you need that hash key or hash ID or the hash itself to verify the information. So one um because we'll still check the blockchain and see examples. So I'll be showing us what hash is and other parts of the blockchain. So we'll continue. So before I proceed, I want to hear from us. Hope I have not lost us on the way. Just want our response. I'm waiting for our responses. All right. Um, Adam said is following. All right. Thank you very much for that response. Okay. So let's continue. So now we have characteristics. All right. Thank you, Salabadi. All right. Thank you. So we have characteristics, feature, and we also have benefits. So all these things, all these three, they're actually interwoven. That's why I just combined everything together. So the first one, we know the blockchain is trustless. That means you can actually, you don't need to, how will I put it? It's trustless in the sense that the blockchain does not lie. Number one, does not lie, and you don't need to. The blockchain doesn't need to convince you before you believe it, because everything that is done on the blockchain is actually transparent. Is actually transparent. Alright, someone's saying something. Fresh. Alright. So now the blockchain is trustless. Now it's unstoppable in the sense that number one, decentralization. Yeah, the government has been actually trying to fight that, but they can't because the technology is actually something massive that is already changing the world of finance. The way we do finance is already changed. It's changed already through the use of blockchain. And also, when you perform a transaction on the blockchain, there's no reversal. Even when you try to reverse it, it doesn't get reversed. It only gets reversed if the miners who are recording the transaction decide to reject your transaction, or your gas fee you're paying for that transaction is not enough. That is when the transaction gets failed and it doesn't go through. But if the miners accept it, or the validators, those are those that stake their fund to actually make sure transaction on the blockchain is recorded. So instead of mining, they stake some particular amount of coin or of that token to ensure those transactions be performed. So these are ways transaction can be stopped if the gas fee you're paying is not enough, or the miners actually reject the transaction due to maybe network congestions and the like. I would say the other benefit or features of the blockchain is immutable. It doesn't change. Yeah, like we know, it doesn't change. Like you can check the record of transactions since the inception of Bitcoin, since 2009 till date. The first transaction that was ever performed on the blockchain, you can check it. The address of Satoshi Nakamoto, as the pioneer of Bitcoin. You can actually check his wallet address till date. If he has performed any transaction, you will see it. So it doesn't change. Even when he transferred some amount of Bitcoin, the first transaction was performed when he transferred to someone, it's still there. The record is still there. All you just need to do is to go back in time and begin to search the blockchain for that history, and you definitely find it. Um, like we know, we've talked about decentralization, time start number, said low cost. Yes, you can actually transfer from one border to another border, from your room to someone in Spain to someone in America at a low cost. You can transfer as much as you want. Nobody is stopping you, nobody will query you. You can transfer as much as 1 million Bitcoin from your trust wallet to another person's trust wallet, and no federal government will come and query you that why are you having this amount of money in your trust wallet. They can only come and query you when you are using the centralized exchanges like your Binance, your Coin and the likes. But when you're using a decentralized exchange, they don't know who is transferring what to who. Do you get it? They can only track it if you are sending that cryptocurrency or that coin from your decentralized wallet to your exchange where you've done KYC. Like let's say you transfer from Trust Wallet to your Binance. Now that coin getting to your Binance Binance have record of the owner of that wallet address because it's hosted on our platform. So you are KYC'd already, you are registered, your name is written there. So these are ways you can use in tracking you. So the government can query Binance tomorrow and say, okay, please, we are looking for so so and so. We know he's a crypto trader and want you to freeze his account. You can do that because it's a centralized exchange that they must stick and abide to the rules of the government. That's why we always advise people don't keep all your funds on exchanges. Now, when you make trade and you make profits, what do? You remove your profits and you leave your trading capital on the exchange. You get that. Now, if you want to invest as well, you can also buy on the exchange, then transfer to your decentralized exchange just to be safe. Now, peer to peer, like we know, person to person. So between me and you, transaction can happen without any third party. Like we know, it's transparent. Everybody from anywhere, any part of the world can actually view transactions. Universal banking, yes. We also know that the blockchain encourages universal banking. Just like we have the DeFi of today, decentralized banking, you can actually do the same thing the bank is offering you, you can also do it with some cryptocurrencies and even better. You have better returns. So now we move on to how does the blockchain work? How does the blockchain work? So now let's know how the blockchain works. Now the first thing says a new transaction is entered. That is when you initiate a new transaction. And a transaction is transmitted. Is then transmitted to a network of peer-to-peer computers scattered across the network. Now from that, this network of computers then solve equations to confirm the validity of the transaction. That is when the miners and the validators comes in. Now from there comes down say once confirmed to be legitimate, when is a legitimate transaction, they are clustered together into block. And when you see something is clustered, that means they are joined together, they are interwoven. You can't separate them because they are clustered. Now once a legitimate transaction are it once confirmed to be legitimate transaction, they are clustered together into block. Now, these blocks are then chained together. You know, when something is chained, that means they are tied together. These blocks are then chained together, creating a long history of all transactions that are permanent. That's why we call it blockchain. So when a transaction is initiated as a block, that is what a block. When a transaction is initiated, that's what we call a block. Now, the transaction is then transmitted to a network, a node. So you can see the component of the blockchain now is coming together. So a transaction is entered, as a block is being created. Now that block is not transmitted through what? A node. That is the person from one network to another. Now each computer on the network transfer from computer A to computer B. And who controls this computer? Users, various users. So that's a node. Now from this network of computer then solve equations to confirm the validity of the transaction. That's where mining and validating comes in. So you can see the three components of the blockchain at play here. So before it goes down to becoming confirmed to be legitimate, and once it's legitimate, these blocks are changed together, creating a long history that cannot be altered. And from there, the participant receives it and the transaction is completed. So that's how that is basically how the blockchain works and it operates. When you understand this, you know what exactly the blockchain has to offer you. So now, how agreements are reached. Now, we also have something we need to note when we are dealing with the blockchain. There are ways in which agreements are, excuse me, there are ways in which the agreements are reached on the blockchain, and we call that consensus mechanism. That is agreement between various parties. Now, the two popular ones, we have more than two, but for this class, we only stick to two. Now, the first one is POW, which we call proof of work. While the second one is POS, which is we call proof of stake. It's not your normal POS, so please don't be thinking it's point of sales. No, this is not point of sale. This is actually proof of stake. We have a lot of them, more than two, but we only stick to two for the sake of this class. So you can do your own research and actually find out more on your own. So learning continues. So now for the proof of work, is based on cryptography, which uses mathematical equation only computers can solve. can solve. So that is what we call mining. And people who does this kind of operations are called miners. So they are miners. So when they mine, they get a particular reward, just like we have miners who go to extract um what are this thing called? The mineral resources, yeah. They mine mineral resources, they mine gems and the likes. And when they mine them, what do they get? They get these things, these mineral resources, these gems in return as a reward for mining. So also with the mining, that's the same principle the mining is. So when you mine, you actually get rewarded in whatever native token you are mining. If you are mining Bitcoin, you get Bitcoin as a reward. If you are mining Ethereum, you get Ethereum as a reward. So any cryptocurrency you are mining, you actually get that crypto as your reward. If you are mining Monero, you actually get Monero as your return. If you are mining Litecoin and the likes, you get them as return. And people who perform this operation are called miners. So this helps to secure the blockchain. The more it gives the blockchain the more security. Now, proof of stake. Now, we say it uses cryptography algorithm for validation, but transaction get validated by a chosen validator based on how many coins they hold, also known as their stake. Now, this depends on how many coins they hold in a particular wallet. So then the network randomly selects from which validator to validate each transaction. So any validator is selected to validate any transaction. That validator get rewarded for validating a particular transaction. And to validate, all you just need to do is to stake. Now you don't need any mining equipment whatsoever, because proof of work actually consumes energy, consumes a lot of money. Yes, because you need to set up a mining farm. You need to dedicate a particular room or a particular space in your apartment for mining. That is if you really want to enjoy mining or you want to go into mining full time. Get particular room for that. Now, also you set up computers, not just one. You set up computers. You need to get some specialized hardwares that can actually perform the operation. You also have what we call the hardware. You get the hardware, you get the software. Not just use any computer. Use computer that can actually handle these operations, because mining takes a lot of computer memory. So you need a specialized computer for that. So you know all these things cost you money, and you also need internet connection and stable electricity. So in Nigeria here we don't have stable electricity and internet, so you should be thinking of running on solar power or running on fuel or running on any means of electricity that you know that is stable for you. So actually proof of work consumes more energy. So that is part of the things that some people are against Bitcoin with, because mining consumes electricity. So he said Bitcoin is actually contributing to the world pollution and also the usage of electricity. But there are also other alternative, like El Salvador is already using volcano to that is volcanic emission to mine Bitcoin. So we have so many technologies coming out to ensure that they go by um the green law and the likes, where you don't have any carbon dioxide emission and the like. So but proof of stake came as an upgrade of proof of work. The proof of stake you see here came as an upgrade, because you know what, one thing with the blockchain and the products that launch on it is this. Now when someone creates a solution, you know, for every solution you create there will always be other problems attached to it. Take for example someone who discovers oil. Yeah, discover a solution, right? Crude oil. Now, when you discover the solution crude oil, then begin to think of how you refine that crude oil to give you other products. Now, when you get other products, now begin to think, how do you distribute these products? That is when you start thinking of having fuel station, right? Now, when you think of having fuel station, now how does that fuel station sell the fuel to people? Then you begin to think of how to get fuel dispenser. Then someone somewhere begin to think, oh, there's fuel also place and they need to sell this fuel. They can't start pouring it in bucket and measure to people. They will need something automated, fuel dispensers. Now, also, how do we transport this fuel to this filling stations or fuel station where we have? Then they start thinking of having a tanker, having a truck. Now, a truck will not drive itself. We need people to drive it. So different solution give birth to more problems. So also for the blockchain. So when you solve a particular problem, you're actually opening door for another problem to be solved. So with the help of proof of work, which was the first consensus mechanism that was used to secure the blockchain and also to mine Bitcoin, then proof of stake came as an upgrade because with this you don't need all of those things we mentioned earlier for mining. You don't need it. All you just need to do is what stake a particular amount of coin. It can be it that will be the information of that will be provided to you by the projects or the product they're launching, whatsoever. So you know the amount. Okay, I'm using so amount to mine. So you stake the amount on the blockchain, and the blockchain does the other work for you. So you don't need to actually do anything basically. But the thing with proof of stake is this: if your stake is selected to validate any transaction. If you validate an illegitimate transaction, you will lose your fund. So all those funds you've staked will be lost to the blockchain. So that's why we also need to be careful and know the right. But so far so good. We haven't had of issues of people that staked on the blockchain and that we ever had issue of validators losing their funds. So far so good. But if any case of such arrive, you should be aware of this before you go into it. So one example of proof of stake is the Binance Smart Chain. So Binance Smart Chain started the proof of stake, then other projects to follow suit. So Binance Smart Chain is a very typical example. Formerly, when they launched in 2017, they were on Ethereum, and Ethereum uses proof of work, same as Bitcoin. But when they launched their blockchain, Binance Smart Chain, they started using proof of stake. So Binance Smart Chain is run by validators, not miners. So that's why you notice that the transaction fee on Binance Smart Chain is actually cheaper compared to Ethereum blockchain and the like. So it's actually very, very cheap. So let's proceed further from this. I think we've dwelled too much on that. So now we have types of blockchain. Yeah. Some of you might not know this, but we have types of blockchain. We have a lot of blockchains. We have different types for different uses. So the first one we have is the public blockchain, which is open, decentralized, accessible to anyone. You can anyone wants to request or validate transaction, you are free to do that. There's no restriction to this. Now it uses either your proof of work or your proof of stake, like we discussed earlier. As a public blockchain. Typical example, your Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are public blockchain. Now we have private blockchains. Now private blockchains are not open. They have access restrictions. People who want to join are required permission from the system administrator. So if you want to join these private blockchains, you need access from the administrators. So these blockchains can be owned by an individual or by a company or by a group of people, depending on their use case. So we have examples of them. They're actually decentralized, like the government can own a blockchain, that's a private blockchain, because the government will have control over that blockchain. They have control from the back end, the front end, and everything. But open blockchain, nobody has control over it. So we have say typical they are they mean they are centralized. Now, for example, you have a Hyperledger and the likes, and these are permission blockchain. They are not permissionless like the public ones. They're actually permission. You need to request for permission before you are granted access. Now, the third one is hybrid blockchain or consortiums. Now, you say they are a combination of the public and the private blockchain. So they take a part of the public and also a part of the private blockchain. And we have example, which is the Energy Web Foundation, Dragon Chain, and R3. So these are examples of hybrid blockchains or consortiums. So any name you wish to call it. And the fourth one we call them side chains. We call them what side chains, just like we have side chick. Yeah. Just like we have side chick. Let me use that to explain. Just like we have side chick, we also have what side chains. So now let's take now you know who side chicks are, right? They're not that illegitimate concubines, or you call them spouse or lovers. Now man is married to his wife, right? And he's still having an affair outside marriage, having his girlfriend, having whatsoever. That's side chain. Just using that one to hold his body outside. So the same thing with this side chain. Now, side chain run on an existing blockchain. I say a side chain is a blockchain running parallel on the main chain. Now it allows users to move assets. This sorry allows users to move digital assets between two different blockchains and improve scalability and efficiency. An example of sidechain is Polygon network. A Polygon network that uses Matic as its coin to run is actually a sidechain of Ethereum. That's why we notice Polygon and Ethereum they're always 5 and 6. You see OpenSea today. OpenSea is the first marketplace for NFT. They run both Ethereum and Polygon. And Polygon came to improve Ethereum because Ethereum is suffering from scalability and efficiency because of the high volume of transaction. This makes it um, slow in processing transaction because it has exceed the normal amount of transaction it can actually perform. So Polygon came to reduce the stress for it. So you can actually move your Ethereum on Polygon. Yeah, and you still get the same value. Yeah, moving without losing its value. So your Ethereum can be moved, can be run on Polygon network. So that's what we call them side chains. So they just come to ease the burden of their main chain. So Polygon is a typical example of side chain. So if you also look at the design of Polygon, you notice it's also similar to that of Ethereum, no difference. So now we move on to examples of blockchain. So I just have some few examples here. We have actually have a lot more than this. So I have about 10 examples here. So you have blockchain.com, that is for Bitcoin, and the ticker or the symbol is BTC. Now we have etherscan.io, that is for Ethereum, and the coin that you use in paying fee. So this coin that you see that are in what do I call it, in bolded letters, that the ones you use in paying gas fee. So Ether is used to pay gas fee on Ethereum blockchain. So the name of the blockchain is Ethereum, but the name of the coin you use in paying gas fee is called Ether. But most people confuse the name and call it Ethereum. I want Ethereum. Yes, you want Ethereum. But Ethereum is actually the name of the blockchain. So the website to visit is etherscan.io. So the name of the coin itself is Ether. ETHER. So the ticker or the symbol is ETH. So we have the explainer for Binance Coin. It has two. We have the Binance Chain and we have the Binance Smart Chain. So people need to take note of all this blockchain. So when you want to perform any transaction, you should be careful. So you don't send Bitcoin to Ethereum and expecting it to deliver. Fine, it might deliver depending on the technology you are using, because you now have Bitcoin that is wrapped on Ethereum. So that is like an advanced level for when it comes to blockchain. So we are still going to, we might still discuss that. Maybe it might be in a private class. Maybe we'll discuss that soon. It might not be in general class. Sha. So we still have what we call wrapped. So we have some coins that are wrapped in another blockchain because you don't have Bitcoin on Ethereum blockchain, but you want to actually trade or use Bitcoin on Ethereum. There are ways you go about it. So you call something bridging. So bridging from one blockchain. So you can actually move from Bitcoin blockchain to Ethereum blockchain. It's possible. So you can move from Ethereum blockchain to Binance Smart Chain. It's also possible. You can move from Binance Smart Chain to Polygon blockchain, to Polygon Scan. It's possible. You can move from Polygon to Phantom or to Lana. It's possible. So we call that bridging. And when you bridge, you are giving a token called wrapped token. So you can have Bitcoin wrapped on Ethereum or Bitcoin wrapped on Binance Smart Chain or Bitcoin wrapped on Polygon and the like. So that is for another class. So you should take note that Binance has two token or two coin, sorry. So any coin that has a blockchain, any coin that is from a blockchain is called a coin. It's called a coin. Why? Those coins or those digital assets that exist on another blockchain, sorry, that exist on a blockchain is called tokens. Now let's take for example, let's take Ethereum for example. Ether has its own blockchain called Ethereum, right? So Ether is a coin, but Uniswap, that is hosted on Ethereum is a token. Which other example will I give? Which other one? If is also a token. So any digital asset that is not having its own blockchain, we call them tokens. But the ones that own a blockchain on their own, that use that particular digital asset to pay as gas fee, is what we call coins. So that's the difference between coin and tokens. So we have the BSC scan, as for the Binance Smart Chain that runs on smart contracts, just like Ethereum. We have the Polygon scan, and also it also supports smart contracts. We have FMT scan, that is for the Phantom. We have Algorand Explorer for Algorand. We have Soul Scan for Solana. We have Explorer.avas.net, that is for Avalanche. We have the crypto.org/explorer, that is for the Chronos coin. We have the finder.extraterrestrial.money, that is for Terra, and the ticker is Luna. And like so now, if you notice in front of you, you have something like ERC20, BIP20, sorry, BIP2, BIP20, Matic is Matic, Phantom is Phantom. So for Agram, we have ESA. So now you have so this crypto.com, you have CR20. So when you are sending coins from one blockchain, you need to take note of all these things. Now, if you are sending now let's take for example Binance coin. You are sending Binance coin for example. Now we have two types. We either have the one on the BIP2 and we have the one on the BIP20. Now the BIP2 does not support smart contracts. It's just a blockchain, just perform a transaction. It only supports just sending and receiving. So you can't host a smart contract. Now smart contracts are programs that also helps to eliminate third parties so that when you want to perform a transaction, it follows some set of rules. Yeah, so that how will I put this now so I can get this. So now we want to and let's say there's a transaction between two parties, like let's say two people want to buy, one person is selling a land, another person has the land. Now the way the smart contract work is this. Now you want to buy the land, you have the money to buy the land, and the other person has the key to the land. Now both of you exchange those documents, right? Now first, when during the exchange it is locked on the blockchain. It's locked on the blockchain. So the person buying the land has to see the land he wants to buy. While the person selling the land has to see the money they are offering for the land. So what the smart contract does is to help to facilitate that transaction so that one person does not cheat the other. So it's locked on the blockchain. So when the other person okay, I've seen the land, and the other person say, okay, I've seen the money, then it releases the two. So it does an exchange. So that's basically how smart contract work. So some blockchains support smart contract, and if they support smart contract, then you can have things like DeFi on them. You can have things like yeah, basically it's decentralized finance and the likes. You can have it hosted on them. So we have these are just examples of blockchain. We might I don't know if there's still time for us to check at least one or two. And if we can't do that today, probably tomorrow we okay, tomorrow is Sunday. We should be able to do that tomorrow. Not to keep us waiting. So I guess we are almost done with the class, yeah. So before interacting with any of the above blockchain, you must understand which wallet support which means which wallet support which blockchain, because not all wallets we have out there support all of these blockchains. So because we have some of them as new blockchains that are springing up, and some of these sorry, excuse me, some of the blockchain we have they don't support it. Like Trust Wallet is one of the most trusted trust wallets. Now they have list of blockchains they support. So you want to take your time to check, okay, Trust Wallet, which blockchain do you support? You want to take your time to go through the list so that you can know what kind of points or how to transact. So if Trust Wallet does not have it, then you should look for an alternative. Like your MetaMask now supports various um various blockchains, because with MetaMask it's easy for you to import any blockchain whatsoever. All you just need is the website and some other protocols. Just put them correctly and you're good to go. But just let you don't have access to do all this customization. It's whatever they give you, you use. So You need to understand which wallet support which and technology use where and how to source for the coin. So if you are working on Polygon network, you can't purchase Polygon network or Matic directly on your trust wallet. That is especially if you don't have access of buying the coin directly. So you should also know where to source for that coin. Like you can get them on centralized exchanges. So you can send from your centralized exchanges to your decentralized exchange. So bonus. So this is just like a bonus class, and this is what we this is where I dwelt majorly last week after we did some little brush up for today's class. And you notice on the group that majority of us have been participating, and some people have been wondering, what are these people doing? That they are just sharing link and the likes. So now we talked about coin market cap diamond. Now this is how to get started for free. Sorry, excuse me. How to get started for free. Now we know getting started to getting started with cryptocurrency actually involves you. Get first, you need to know what you are doing, get the knowledge. Because when you get the knowledge, you can actually spend your money and start investing or trading. Because if you don't have the knowledge, you just want to dash you just want to dash us your money. That's just what you mean. So you can actually get started for free if you don't have necessary capital or the capital you are aiming to start with. So you can start for free. So I'll show you ways in which you can actually start for free. That's using your money to get started. So many people started like this and they are eating it big today. Yeah. So you just have to be consistent with it. Though the reward might be low, but with consistency and with time, you begin to compound into something bigger. So we have the coin market cap diamond, like I shared that on the group already. So you just go there, you claim diamonds, and when you claim diamonds daily, you keep accumulating. When you do that for like 7 consecutive days, it keeps accumulating to some certain amount. So you repeat that over and over again. And when it's time for you to exchange that diamonds to something worthable, then you can do that and exchange it for whatever reward you get. We also have the CoinGecko cookies, like it's also similar to that of CoinMarketCap. Now, CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, they are like trackers, or let me say market gauge, where you can check the price of various cryptocurrencies we have today. So if you don't find any particular coin on CoinMarketCap, you can actually find it on CoinGecko. And you can't find it in these two places, that means definitely it's a new project or it's probably a scam cryptocurrency. So you should be careful. So when you want to invest in any cryptocurrency whatsoever, you want to get information about this coin. The first place we always go to check for the coin is CoinMarketCap. If you don't find the CoinMarketCap, check it on CoinGecko. If you can't find it in these two places, because these are the two major um notable places. So any project that is launching and it knows it's a legitimate project or a project that wants to stand the test of time, they must surely apply for listing on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, because there alone pushes volume for your coin. You get it now. So if you want to be a legitimate coin and what you do is legit, why don't you go to where everybody can see you? Yeah. So with this, they use that this mechanism to reward their users for active participation, because they are free to use, and at the same time you you don't get rewarded for using them. So to keep you coming back every day to check, apart from just checking the price of coins, knowing their market cap, the market valuation and the likes, you also need to wanting to use that platform. So that's why they design these ways to reward users for it. So that's one thing with cryptocurrency. It rewards you for participating, it rewards you for doing. That is one thing we don't have in financial um our financial system today, or the Web 2, as the case may be. That's why we now have Web 3 that rewards you for everything you do, you get rewarded. So the same thing works with the KuCoin reward hub and candies. You can also find these ways on your KuCoin. And we also have crypto.com mission. The same thing happens. So also you can also get started for free by playing to earn. This is gaming. You play games and you earn reward. And many of us we play games here. Most of us that play maybe modern combat, Candy Crush, Subway Surf. You know those games you play now? How many of them are actually giving you something reward, like a tangible reward in money, apart from giving you reward in life or extending the life of the coin or giving you coins or something? But all those things you only spend it on in the game. You can't actually have it like a real cash. But with crypto play to earn, you can actually convert those reward you get into cash. So that's what we call play to earn. So you can also start with that, and with time you also begin to get it. I shared a link on that crypto recap, the last two class we had. I said share the link in the bonus section. I don't know how many of us watched it. The link was about a gaming platform, Axie Infinity, one of the coin that's boomed in 2021. Axie Infinity is a gaming token that reward people for playing games. So you can also check about them and see how you can benefit from them. But there you need to have like a startup capital. Yeah, you need to have a startup capital to play that game. But the other games apart from that, we have it's last. Okay, I will share some of these links to the group so that we can just check it out and see how we can benefit. Okay, someone is saying in our last class works, you showed an example of the coin market cap and coin gecko candies. We can have that for KuCoin, the play to earn anonymous. All right, we'll have that. Okay. So because of our time, we won't be doing that today. So because tomorrow is Sunday and I want us to go and so I'm also having a long day tomorrow. We're having some work to do tomorrow as well. So when we'll meet again like this and we'll just go straight into practicals. So I text starting from these examples of blockchain. Yes, so I tested from it. So we'll actually begin to look at this blockchain one after the other, begin to analyze them and see how we can use them. So if at all we can cover, or at least majority of them, we'll visit them. We'll see how transactions are being performed, what this is, what that is, how you can actually look for a coin on any of this blockchain. So if a project is launching tomorrow and is on Binance Smart Chain, you can actually get information of that coin even on the blockchain. I said the coin market caps helps you get track and record of all the coins you have in the market. Yes, fine. But there are sometimes the coin might not have launched on coin market cap. Maybe they are doing they are still in their pre-sale stage, they are still trying to put one or two things together. But they have launched already, they're already on the blockchain. Even before they get to coin market cap, you can actually extract information from your blockchain because that's where they are hosted initially before you find them anywhere else. So we also check examples of blockchain one after the other. We also see these examples one after the other. So from there, we move on to this how to get started for free. So I'll start from coin market cap again for those people that were not your last class. So I'll go back to that and we'll check CoinGecko. Then we'll go to KuCoin. We'll check that. We also go to crypto.com. One issue with crypto.com that it requires street verification. KuCoin also requires street verification, but not as that of crypto.com. So it requires street verification. So if you are lucky and you're able to pass the verification, definitely I enjoy it. So it's majorly crypto.com is majorly a broker and also an exchange. I guess what they do majorly where they generate more of their money is from brokerage. And what a broker means they sell coins to people. People buy with their credit card. You get buy with their credit card and you get like the dollar value of whatever coin you're buying. So if you are buying one Bitcoin, you are paying $1 for that coin. So you're not paying like you have in Nigeria here where you're buying $1 at 570, 580 and the likes. But on that block on that exchange, if you're buying $1 is your $1 are getting the same value. So and some people also make money with that. So we call that arbitrage. We do that. So but we are not discussing that here now. All right. So we'll move on to play to earn, learn to earn also. I also showed us places we can learn and also earn at the same time. So you learn about a particular project and you earn reward for learning about that project. So you can see crypto is so interesting. Even if you don't have startup capital, I don't have money, but you can still start something. even with all these things I've listed. If you are committed with it, why not? If not, so we also have affiliate commissions. Yeah, so affiliate commission has to do with what we call it yeah, affiliate marketing. Yeah, where you sell other people's products, other people's products, services to get a commission in return. So for example, now this guide I'm launching, there'll be affiliate commission attached to it. So if you can sell it, you get a particular commission for selling it. So actually you don't have to use money to start that. All you just need to do is to convince somebody to buy. And when the person buys successfully, you get rewarded for that. So affiliate commission is also linked to having referrals and the likes. So and also referrals, you can have referrals on maybe exchanges like the link I shared earlier for 5rio .io or .com, sorry, the exchange that just doing a like a promotion contest, promotion marketing just to have more users register on their platform. So you can also do that. So when you refer someone, both your direct and indirect referrals, you keep getting commissions. So these are ways you start. So all you just need have to do is just register, participate in whatever events they are hosting, and you wait till they share the reward. So you should always not be in a haste to make money. Shouldn't be in a haste to make money. Always try to take it one step at a time. You also have airdrops, like the one I shared on the group is actually an airdrop and also more of a referral kind of thing. And also, another way you can get started is getting paid in crypto. And this for entrepreneurs and out there. If you sell a particular product or you have a service or a goods you sell online that is not crypto related, you can actually get paid in crypto. You can tell them, okay, I accept crypto as payment. And you even get more than what you even get more value for your product than collecting cash or collecting naira. Imagine you um collecting your payment in Bitcoin. Now, all of a sudden, Bitcoin rose from $4,000 to about $60,000. You've actually made 20% on whatever amount you collected. And the same way you made 20%, which you be also careful, it can also go down 20% due to volatility. So, actually getting paid in crypto is actually very, very nice. It also helps you break this barrier of payment boundaries issue. So anybody anywhere can actually pay for your services without having issues of making payment to you, without having issues of making payment. So you might be having a maybe let's say you are offering a skill as a software engineer or a website developer, a graphics designer, and someone in United States or someone in Singapore wants you to work for him or her. Then they'll be asking you, do you have a DOM account and the likes. Now, you going to the bank to create a DOM account is a long process. And even before they verify your account, you have to go and bring two reference or two referrals, two reference, yeah. They also ask you to deposit a minimum of $100 for you to open the account. So all these processes takes time. So why not get paid in crypto that requires just few minutes to set up and you are good to go. And if you want to convert your crypto to cash, you can sell on an exchange or look for someone that buys and sell crypto like me. You can come to me, you sell your crypto to me, and buy it, and I pay you your money. And yeah, that's all. You don't need to stress yourself waiting for or going to one long queue to get your money from the bank. So these are ways you can get started for free and also enjoy the benefit of crypto. And finally, finally, so we'll be creating account of DEX and SEC. Now, DEX means decentralized exchange, like your Trust wallet, your MetaMask. So you should go download this wallet so that you can start getting familiar with them. You can also go to YouTube, watch how to use Trust wallet, how to use MetaMask, how you can start using it to send and receive coins so that when the need arise, you already know how to use it. And you can also start creating accounts on DEX, or sorry, on SEX, that is centralized exchanges like your Binance, your KuCoin, your Bitmart, your 5 RIO Global. So you can start creating accounts on all these exchanges, because why we create so many accounts with different exchanges, because sometimes there's a coin for you to buy and sell, but you can't find them on Binance. Definitely it will be on KuCoin. If it's not on KuCoin, it should be on Bytemart. If it's not on Bitmart, it should be on Five Real Global. So at least one of these exchanges will have the coin sha, because projects want to make money. They also want to have this awareness. So they launch on popular exchanges. So these ones I mentioned, they are popular, yeah, to some extent. At least if you don't know of any other exchange, you should know of Binance, number one in the whole world. We also have other ones like Gates.io. You have Uboy Global, and so you have so many of them. You have Bybit and the likes. So just need to know which one suits your trading style and the ones you can actually manage. Yeah, so you should create these accounts and just have them, and also ensure you verify for the centralized exchanges to enjoy full benefit of these exchanges. You need to be verified because there will be some limits for you just using basic accounts. Might be maybe some might have a withdrawal limit of maybe one BTC per day or a lifetime. So it depends on the exchange and their limits. So you have some like limitations if you are not fully verified. So you need either a voter's card, your national identity number, your international passport, or a driver's license to get verified on any of these exchanges. So the one that I immediately recommended is either use driver's license or international passports. Those are the two that actually is mostly accepted. And you can also try voters card. Voters card too is accepted, but some exchanges now select your national identity number or the slip itself. Some of them to accept it too. So you can just try any of this, and if it works for you, fine. And if it doesn't work, you go to another exchange, keep trying until it works, so you don't give up. So we also have some links to some of these exchanges, so you can use my link to register. So I will share this PDF with us so that we can go through them when we are less busy, and also create accounts with these exchanges. So okay, do you have anything here? Okay, we have something here. So like I said, I'll be launching my guide very soon due to my busy schedule. Throughout this week I've been super busy. Thank God I didn't even start speaking some electrical or electronic terms here too, because I've been busy with some kind of project, and it has been taking my time from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening. So you can see 12 hours of my days fully booked. So just had to just squeeze myself and do this class. Was tomorrow also I'm going again. So why should you buy this guy? So this coming week, hopefully I should be free a little bit, then I'll be able to launch the guide at least to where I've gotten it to. So later I'll begin to upgrade it gradually till as I upgrade it, the value also increases. So the early access gets to enjoy it. So once you buy it once, you're not buying it again. So all of these benefits attached to it, you get it. Once you buy it once, you're not buying it again. So increase in value. So increase in value also comes with increase in price. Now you also have mentorship, access to mentorship. I'm going to mentor you. If you have any question regarding cryptocurrency, you get answers to those questions, and also ways to guide and navigate the crypto space properly. We also have access to a private community and also event I'll be hosting in the nearest future. Not like in the nearest future, but at least as the time goes by. Also have NFT access to membership pass. Now for this course, I'll be minting 1,000 NFT for it. Now let me explain this first to understand that this NFT is a limited edition, a limited version. And when the whole 1,000 NFTs as is exhausted, and how does this NFT get exhausted? If you buy the course, you get an NFT of that course. So the NFT, the course will be attached to the NFT. Yeah. So the PDF or the documents of this course will be attached to the NFT. So when you own the NFT, you actually own the course. Yeah, you actually own the course. It's actually possible for you to have a course as an NFT. Yes, very, very possible. So 1,000 of it will be minted. Now, as you buy the course, you have a copy of the course as an NFT. Now, that NFT will also be placed at a particular value. So it's either you buy the course or you buy the NFT. Now, after the 1,000 has been minted, the course will be taken from sales. So you won't be able to buy it anywhere except from the blockchain, which is the NFT. That's the only place to be able to buy it. And where will you buy it from? You buy it from people that already have the NFT. So they can now decide to list it for 1 Ethereum, is left to them. They can decide to list it for 0.0001 Ethereum, is left to them. So if you buy it at that point and later list it for 1 Ethereum, 10 Ethereum, 100 Ethereum, depending on whatever coin it will be launching on. So it has a limited cap of 1,000. So once it gets to 1,000, the cost won't be on sale again. You can only buy it from the blockchain. So I'll take it away from sales. Anybody that wants to purchase the course, go to the blockchain, go and buy from other people. So anybody willing to sell can actually sell the course. So there's no restriction. We're talking of decentralization. So why should you be restricted with what you want to do? You know the course, you do whatever you want to do with it. So and you selling the course does not restrict your access. No, you still have access to the community and other things that comes with it. You still have access to it. So within that time frame that the 1,000 will be sold, we having affiliate commission. Yeah, we having affiliate commission for that. So within the time frame where when that 1,000 of the course will be sold. So I'm actually targeting 1,000. Once we have 1,000, I'm good. So we have affiliate commission attached to it and also have many more benefits to come, many more benefits. So along the line, we roll out more. So let's not let the cat out of the bag yet. Let's still put a bell to the cat's neck. So you should please know that if you don't buy the course now, you buy it later. So the analogy I want to give is a school tuition fee, which is free. If you go to a public school, you don't actually pay school fees, but the textbook and the notebook you is paid, you buy them. The government won't even though they give you the textbook, they'll keep it in the library. The teachers won't allow you to have access to it. Only maybe when you want to read, or if you want to have your own personal textbook, you do what? You buy your own personal notebook, your biro and like to buy. So just take this guide I'll be launching as a textbook or notebook for this class. And finally, everybody gets an NFT as proof of participation at the end of the training. It's cool, right? Yes, it's cool. I know you agree with me that it's cool. So everybody gets participate of NFT as a proof of participation. So at the end of the class, I'll be requesting for our wallet address where I will mint NFTs and send to us. And don't forget that we are also going to learn how to mint our own NFT. So if you're a graphics designer, a visual artist, you're a programmer, a motion, what do you call it? Motion designer, motion this thing. Someone says it's cooler, right? Yeah, it's cooler. So you can actually mint NFTs and make money with it. A lot of money, cool cash with money. Just selling pictures, selling videos and the likes. You see musicians that come into the cryptocurrency space. Someone say Kufu. It's I feel Kufu now. So like you see Don Jazzy now, he made over $3,000 selling NFTs in about 10 minutes. Don Jazzy, our favorite producer, is into NFTs, selling them. Buju is also making money with NFT. Even someone of recent too is not was it Drake or who was that? I think it's Lil Wayne or so. He's also selling. He's also going to so many musicians. So what NFT is one of the things pushing crypto to the mainstream, where people are now getting to know more about crypto through NFTs. Yes, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we have so many of them now moving on to the NFT space. So we are also going to be discussing NFTs and how you can also and also show us where we can also purchase a full course on NFT. So you don't just rely on what I give you here. You can also explore on your own, dig more, find more information, and so you can benefit with all these informations out there. So not just get the information, try to utilize it. Um that shows you've actually acquired the knowledge. You don't just acquire the knowledge, you also try to apply it. When you apply it, then you actually then the purpose of you getting the knowledge has been fulfilled. So I guess that is all right. Okay, so okay. So thank you all for joining today's class. We've actually spent about 1 hour 14 minutes. So this is 9:44. So I'd like to ask if you have any question. And if we don't have any question, we can call it a good night. Any question? Okay, Snoop Dogg 2 years, thank you. So even that guy that acted Spider-Man was gifted his first NFT, but He didn't know the value. He did just like the guy that sold um that bought pizza for 1,000 Bitcoin then. So you can see that guy will be regretting till to date if he doesn't know, if he doesn't own any Bitcoin, he'll be regret that. Assuming you know, he shouldn't have said sold his birthright. Yeah, he just sold his birthright, he didn't know. So alright, any other question before we call it a day? I guess we have understood what I said. But when I start making money with all this, it will be the coolest. Yeah, that's true. That's when okay, Mr. Olabi says no question. Who else? That would be the coolest thing. Yeah, that's why we are here now. We're here to make money, not just come and hear my talk and the likes. So we ought to make money. That's why we are here, truly. So let's start making the money. So I've shown us ways to start getting money for free. Yeah, for free, technically, actually, literally for free. So you just need to participate and be involved. And thanks for coming to this class. It's 10 of us. And for the money, oh, the money, and for the money now, so you make money, you use money to find money, sure you get. So actually, you're using your knowledge to find money. Like so. Any question? Okay, I guess no question. Okay, so call it a night. So tomorrow we'll continue, we'll go deep into the practical and please have a good night rest. Please pray for me when you go to church so I make more money. You want park come my house, no wahala, you are free. Currently, I no dey house, so if you locate me, no problem. Okay, good night, Mr. Olabi. So, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining today's class. I really want to appreciate your effort. At least I didn't just prepare for a class, I come and teach myself. At least you say many are called, but few are chosen. All right, now, good night, everyone. Good night. So, I'm ending the call now. So, okay, I'm sure I'm not sharing the video. All right, so I'll only share the guide on the group. Why the video will be included in the guide. Yeah, good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you, Mr. Fred. It's a privilege.